while we wait for people to enter the room, welcome, Alien Witch. Hey, as people flow in, Luciana Dream, Mystic Malu, Lara, what's up, the Rich Witch? Okay, people are flowing in, so as people enter this virtual ritual, as I so like to call this, hi! Oh, what's up, Alex Motown? All right, so as people flow in, let's take a couple deep breaths to get into the body. Let it be cozy in the house. What's up? Yeah, let's go. So we're going to do three-part breaths just for all of us to get acclimated, connected, and dialed in here so we can feel into this, all right? So here we go. We're going to fill the belly. Inhale the belly, into the chest, into the head, all the way to the crown. Hold, sip in more breath, and then let it go. Imagine the breath riding the elevator all the way back down to your root. Breath number 2, here we go. Fill it up from the root. Inhale, belly, into your chest, up into the crown. Hold, sip in more breath, and then let it pass. Slowly let it go. Follow the breath down to your root. Here we go, last breath. Biggest breath of the whole day. Let's go, blast off. Inhale, fill from the root, into your chest, into your crown, up. Sip in more breath. Hold it. Take your focus to your third eye. And then let it pass. And then just take a moment and feel what you feel. Feel the sensations. All right. Here we are together. I would love if you don't mind to drop into the comments what sensations came up for you in that quick little breathwork practice. Just a little moment to show you that it literally takes like 1 minute to recalibrate your body and to connect from root to crown and take the biggest breath of your whole freaking day. Perhaps it's the biggest breath of your year or your lifetime. You can do it right now. What's up? Looks like Laz is here. Lara is saying, will you shave your head again? It's so funny because I literally just pulled the clippers out of my cupboard. And I was like, whoa, I kind of feel like shaving my head right now. I might. You never know what's going to happen in my world. I might not. Part of me, well, what I noticed was, I didn't think I was going to talk about this right now, but let's do it. When I shaved my head a few months back, I had nice curly hair coming in after the chemo, right? And I loved it. I was stoked. I mean, I did kind of feel like Bilbo Baggins, but I liked the hair. Now, I had really specific intentions for shaving the head, and when I did it, after the hair was off, I realized how much energy that hair was carrying from chemo, and like how much energy from treatment and trauma and, you know, the residual chemicals that were moving out of my body were actually being carried in that hair. And though I loved the aesthetic of what was coming through on my head, when I released it, I realized, dude, there was so much held in that hair, and I was actually very glad that I released it. That being said, I'm excited about this hair coming through, and I'm excited about growing antenna, and part of me envisions having like lots of long antenna, and another part of me is like, I'm down to always let it go at this point. You know, it's like releasing the attachments to it. And a big thing that I'm about in this world is like helping people also realize that you are beautiful beyond what the mainstream beauty standard tells you. So it's like one of the statements I want to make when I shave the head. It's like, dude, you don't need hair to be beautiful. And people in female bodies, we download all this stuff our whole life. Like, we use our hair, you know, it's like we hide under it, and we use it to be more beautiful. And I really want to help people realize you're fucking beautiful as you are. Hi. Oh, snap. You're at work, sneaking it in. Hi, sis. Okay, so I wanted to jump in here today, and I love you too. I wanted to jump in here and say that I just got out of my cold shower, and today it was particularly intense and invigorating, and I just kind of wanted to jump in here and share the stoke of that, and share with you that, you know, I don't know if you guys saw or not, but I just posted some videos of some of my morning movement practice. And today I was practicing without a top on. And I've been doing that lately. But when I post stuff on IG, I put a shirt on, right? And I'm going in and out of all of this thing around, like, what that means. Like, what's the significance of that? And being a female-bodied person, we're so used to hiding our chest, right? Like, when we have breasts, we're not allowed to show them. It's fucking illegal to show them on public beaches or, you know, wherever. And guys get to do it all the time. And guys show their nipples all the time. And, you know, if you see guy yogis on IG, they're all topless. You know, nobody's tripping on their nipples showing, or guys at the beach or whatnot working out. Anyways, I'm enjoying working out in just my underwear lately a lot. And it's like, it's a non-sexual thing. And today I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna video my practice as I am. I don't have a shirt on. I just had on shorts. And I shared it. And so anyways, the cool thing about videoing your practice and watching it back is that you get to see yourself in your practice. And what I was noticing in my practice was I was doing a headstand, and I didn't have a shirt on, so I could actually see what was going on in my body right here. And I was in this position. And I could see all of the, like, scar tissue and all the contracted tissues in this area from surgery and radiation. And so it's very different from this side. I mean, this side has a lot of, all the nerves were cut out of here and damaged. So this side feels less intensity than this side, because this side was radiated for a fucking month, dude. And when I went through radiation, the tissues, it was already a lot of scar tissue from surgery, but it was just like clamping down. And when I was watching the video, I was going, dude, like, wow, I'm seeing all that tightness. And I started thinking, like, wow, also, I've come so far in my body and in my movement from a year ago. A year ago, I was finishing up radiation. And a year ago, I had to stop radiation early because I couldn't even get my arm into this position. It was so contracted that when I'd go in, I'd have to, like, breathe my arm up into that position. And so at a certain point, I was like, dude, my body's fucking telling me it literally won't go here unless I force it. It was so burnt to a crisp. It looked like a fucking cured ham. I mean, it was like bright red and burnt and contracted down. And so I've been utilizing my movement practice to, I mean, think about this. After my breasts were removed from surgery, I stopped using painkillers on day 3 because that shit made me feel crazy in not a good way. So I was like, nah, I'm just going to do it. And I used Mother Cannabis as my ally. She got me through. And the fact that I wasn't on opiates or painkillers, I was feeling excruciating pain. Okay? And as a way to cope, my body took on this position because it was like freezing everything to just not feel. And so I had to work through this protected this is like a primal animal position of like, can't fucking take it, so I'm protecting. And you look at a lot of people in the world, and a lot of people will sit and just kind of move through the world hunched. This is a protection. Gotta go, I'll research this later, love. And like, cool, I'm gonna try to save this, Alien Witch, so maybe you can come back and watch the rest later. Peace, thank you for joining me. So, the movement practice helps you. I love you so much too. Thank you for being here, love. Thank you for coming in even though you're at work. You're dope. You know I love you. You know I love you. You know how I feel about you. Thank you for dropping in here. So to go from this protection, what we got to do, we got to take movements and move into the discomfort. And so there's a formula, there's a way to do this, and this is a metaphor of life. Like, we so often avoid discomfort, right? We want to stay in our comfort zone. We want to stay comfortable. We want to stay comfortable in our bodies. But we got to move into the discomfort. So when I was watching that, I'm weaving in and out. See me? Follow me? When I was watching the video of myself this morning, I was like, all right, whoa, I've come a long way. In that a year ago, I was like bound up like this. Burnt to a crisp, breast just removed, delirious from chemo. Fucking nar, dude. In the darkness on all levels. And thank God I had the fucking inner spirit activated. And I saw my oncologist yesterday, and I told him, because I was so, he's like, dude, he told me, he didn't say dude, he's like, I can't even believe you did our chemo. I can't believe you did it. I'm shocked. Because when you came in here, you were like, no way, I'm not doing that, I don't believe in that. And I told him, the only reason I did your chemo was because you told me I was going to die if I didn't do it. And he's like, yeah, you literally had the worst breast cancer on the planet, and we had to treat it with the most intense chemos available. Because the type of breast cancer I had, triple negative, it's the most gnarly breast cancer there is. It's rare, it's the rarest, and it's the most aggressive. And I had the highest degree of aggressiveness on it. So their treatment plan is, they say they throw the kitchen sink at it. Meaning I got to experience the worst fucking gnarliest chemos available. And I told him, I'm like, you scared me, and I made a choice based on fear. And yet, here's the thing. Doing that, it was like, I told him, I used to be a pacifist, and like, you turned me into a warrior, dude. Straight up, I told him, you turned me into a warrior. And I would never think that I would be the person who would choose something like putting highly carcinogenic poisons in my body to heal. It's counterintuitive. It doesn't resonate with my beliefs and philosophies. And yet I did it. And I'm not suggesting anyone put highly carcinogenic poisons in their body for any reason, but that was my path. And the thing is that I got to survive it, thank God. Some people don't survive chemo. A lot of people don't. A lot of people don't survive cancer. When I was going through cancer, I lost my father and my uncle to cancer when I was in treatment. I mean, I lost my father the day before I was diagnosed, actually. And I lost my uncle during, I think it was during chemo. And then my other uncle, my uncle's twin brother, was going through cancer at the same time. All four of us at the same time. So I'm like really on fire for helping humanity. Because this shit's crazy. And this current statistic is 1 in 2 people will experience cancer in their lifetime. That's fucking bullshit. That's insane. And like okay, I'm weaving a lot of stories together at once. Follow me. The thing about going through the gnarly Western medical modalities was that it did turn me into a warrior. I never thought I'd be a warrior. I always thought I'd be like peace and, all of that. But it was like, when you go down to life and death, when you go into that moment where you're not sure if you're going to make it or not, it's either you don't make it or something activates in you and you take everything you got to get through the moment. And in those moments, I found the only thing I had to anchor into was my breath. After my first chemo dose, I came home. I had an adverse response. My body went into shock and convulsions. I thought I was dying. And all I could do was breathe. All I could do wasn't like I was consciously like, all right, like focus on breath. No, it was like down to the wire of inhale. Okay, exhale. And that's what I did to get through that. And it continued to show me. I continued to utilize this. A few months later, right after my breasts were removed, I developed a gnarly-ass blood clot that wanted to take my life. It was massive. It was from my knee to my abdomen. The whole thing, my whole leg turned into the elephant man. I was hospitalized for a week, and again, it was clinging to life. And here's the thing. It was like, imagine a person who's fighting cancer, bald, bloated from chemo, just had their breasts removed. So it was like super, they had just removed the drainage tubes, right? And then all of a sudden I land myself in the ER with this blood clot. I mean, it was a wreck. I was at rock bottom at that point, where it was like, I'm fighting cancer and now I'm in here fighting for my life because of a blood clot. I'm not going down like that. And it was like, whew, I had to dig in deep. And in that moment, it was like I closed my eyes and I followed the voice inside of me. And it said, get your vision. The vision was, see yourself dancing. I mean, it was clear. The message came through. See yourself dancing. And for me, that was my soul's message, because I'm a dancer, right? And so I think what the voice was telling me was like, see the full vision of you right now. You have to have a vision if you're going to get through this. Have a vision and focus on it. And so I closed my eyes. I put on my music. It was like sound alchemy. I put on the specific music that was medicine. No fucking hospital TV. No. My friends who came to visit, I couldn't even engage and talk with them. I'd be like, just can't talk. I can't talk. It was vision time. And I would just focus on the vision of me dancing. And what was funny is I could never see my body dancing. All I could see was like these three-dimensional holographic wings, 3D moving. And I was like, I guess that's me dancing, right? And I mean, later I'm like, that must have been my soul dancing. But I was just watching the vision of these wings moving, and it was like, stay with the breath, stay with the breath, stay with the breath. And so eventually I made it through that. I got up that day, or not that day, at the end, once the blood clot had been, they had to fucking surgically remove that shit, because the medicines they tried on my body rejected the medicine. And so they were like, well, I guess we gotta remove it with surgery. Crazy, right? So the day came at the end of the week where they said you can get up from the hospital bed now, because they made me stay lying straight. I wasn't allowed to move my body from the waist down, because there was like all these tubes and shit in my body, machines. I was attached to machines. And after I did some practice runs with the nurse, she finally said, you can do a solo walking. So everyone left the room. I was alone in my room, and I got up from the bed. I've told this story here a few times, but the light had been coming in my hospital room, the sunlight. And that day, literally, the sun was like, come to me. The sun was speaking to me. You guys might think, you were tripping on drugs, or what, you were delirious. No. The sun said, get up. Come to me. And I mean, it was like, you imagine seeing like a shuffling, hobbling. I mean, my posture, it was like a shuffling 110-year-old woman, bald, bloated, breastless. I shuffled to the window in my hospital gown, and I greeted the sun. Huh. That was the most fucking magnificent thing ever. That I was back up, walking, shuffling, but machines out of my body, and standing in the deepest reverence to that ball of light in the sky. And then my body started this spontaneous, subtle, slow prayer, movement prayer. And in my head, in my voice, in my body, it was like, this is a sun salutation. This is saluting the fact that I'm in a body. I'm in a body. And, it's like, I want to tell people, you're in a body. And we've been programmed to think that we are just never, never enough as we are. You're the wrong shape, you're the wrong size, you're the wrong color, you're the wrong height, you're the wrong this, that. It's never fucking just right? That's what the outer, external, patriarchal world tells us. And in that moment, I was like, my body is fucking mind-blowing. It's fucking dope. And I was like, wow. My body is my devoted companion. It's been through it all with me. Unconditionally. It's here. And so, that really was a paradigm shift in me, where it was like, yeah, I might be breastless, bald, bloated, barely able to walk, barely able to move, really fucked up from treatments, but I have a body, and that is a beautiful thing. And I just want to get in here and say this to you. Your body is designed to heal. And all the dark circumstances in your life I believe are by your soul's divine design to invite you home into the wholeness and the truth of who you truly are. Okay? It's not by coincidence if you're going through the shitstorm right now and everything feels topsy-turvy and you feel real fucked up and, whatever the issue is, hear me. It's happening for you. Yes, there are people who are victimized on this earth. No, it is not just, and I'm not saying that it's okay. But what I am saying is that there is medicine in your wound. And I'm going to take it a step further and say, you are the medicine. But you have to realize it. You have to realize that's the key. That's the awakening. That's the activating, is that you actually are the medicine for the moment. You are the light existing in the center of the darkness, in the center of your darkness. You're all of it. You're the darkness, you're the light. You are the darkness, it's the void. You are that. You are nothing. You're also everything. You are the darkness. You are the light. And your biological human earth body temple is designed to heal. And it will take you into dis-ease to call you into awakenings to bring you back in to wholeness until the day where you are done with this earth journey and you drop the body. The body's not you. It's a gorgeous temple that your soul has designed to experience the earth third dimensional realm for this lifetime. So fucking live it up. And I want to tell you, like I was saying in my stories this morning, here's the thing. It's like obvious truth right before our eyes and right under our nose, and we don't even get it because the world we live in wants us so distracted and disconnected from ourselves that we don't even get the obvious. First of all, the obvious truth is that you are the treasure. You're the fucking gold at the fucking end of the rainbow. You're the pot of gold. You don't have to seek it out. It's you. And I'm going to keep on saying this so you guys get it. It's like, if you don't get it already, breathing. People, mad props to folks who are taking the journeys down to the jungles for ayahuasca, or who are finding the illegal, taking risks in smoking DMT illegally, and like all the implications of we have to do all these things to bypass the law to access the entheogens that take us into the pineal gland where our consciousness is putting on the show. Those things are beautiful, and I am not knocking plant medicines or DMT in substance form. I think it's fucking great, honestly. Here's the thing, that it's the obvious truth that we don't know because we lost connection to the practices that humans have available to us 24/7. You produce DMT in your brain and in your lungs. Your body produces it naturally, this illegal substance that plants also produce. So breath work takes you into yourself. And take it from me, I grew up as a kid in a house where there was smoking indoors, and I had a lot of food allergies like dairy, and I was fed that every day. My parents were doing their best. I'm not knocking them. These were the circumstances. So, I couldn't breathe very well as a kid. It hurt. My experience of taking a deep breath always hurt until I came to yoga. And I started learning pranayama and rebirthing technique. Rebirthing is a pranayama technique that is not part of, that's another story. But rebirthing technique actually helped me unlock my breathing mechanism and access deep breath in a way I had never known in my body. Where it was the first time where I was like, whoa, taking a deep breath is pleasurable? Oh, it was a new paradigm for me. And I used to be a smoker. Okay, think about this. I grew up as a kid around smokers. I associated that with enjoying life and partying and relaxing and connecting. So drinking and smoking, for me as a kid, the download was that's what you do to enjoy and have fun and connect with people. So naturally, I did that as a teen. Started smoking, started drinking, started using substances to, figure out what everybody loved about it. And so for me, as a young adult, I was smoking a pack a day, okay? And the thing about smokers is, I don't judge smokers. I used to be a full-on smoker. I truly believe that smokers are yogis. I believe that smoking is a form of pranayama. And that, unfortunately, there's so many nasty-ass substances added to the things that we smoke, like cigarettes and all the chemicals and shit, that it's fucked up that is what it is, and that gnarly ass addictive ingredients also fucks up. But I think that people who want to check out and smoke a cigarette for 3 minutes, they're doing pranayama. That's actually like a form of meditation and breath work. You're taking deep ass drags off a cig, right? The thing is that you're inhaling poisons though. Unless you have some specific medicinal herbal blends that you're using, or your tobacco isn't treated with all the fucking shit that they treat it with. But when you're smoking, you are ingesting carcinogenic air because you're combusting the plant, so it's burning, and it's carcinogenic at that point. So, but I don't judge people who smoke, because people who smoke literally are just longing for rest, calm, relaxation. It's a meditation. It's a form of breath work. So here's the thing, you can do that just by breathing oxygen. And in this new breathwork practice, it's not new, but it's newer to me, the conscious breathwork practice that is brought through hardcore by Wim Hof. He is different than many other humans because he's submitted himself to science, and he's study me. I mean, this dude has 26 world records and doing crazy ass shit with his breath and with his body. And he has submitted himself to science, and he's saying, study me, because I need people to know the effects of breathing, that we can control our autonomic nervous system, which until him, science believed that we didn't have control over the autonomic nervous system, which affects the endocrine system and the immune system. Endocrine system meaning all the moods, the mood disorders, depression, anxiety, schizophrenia, bipolar, trauma, PTSD, all of that. He is showing we can impact, affect, and influence through breath. Also, he's showing the breathwork practice helps oxygenate the body, bring up the pH level, lower the carbon dioxide levels. Therefore, you're also creating anti-inflammatories in your body. So folks who have autoimmune disease, and I mean, he's saying massive disease spectrum, that his practice can impact, alter, and heal. I mean, there's many people, he's saying there's thousands and thousands of anecdotal stories of people who do his practice that have rheumatoid arthritis, Crohn's disease, Lyme disease, cancer, depression, mental disorders, mood disorders, PTSD, trauma. I mean, the whole fucking spectrum. People are saying, I am forever changed because of these practices. And it's as simple as breath work, cold therapy, and meditation, and mind control. And if you guys saw, on my stories recently, I put Yes Theory, these people on YouTube who their thing is they seek discomfort. And so they decided it'd be cool to go study with Wim Hof and make a documentary about it. And I highly suggest everyone go in and watch that. Ovalone, I'm sorry, I'm not watching the comments at all. What is his name? Missed it? His name's Wim Hof. What's up, Mandy? Yeah. Welcome for all of you who are rolling in. Prog Rocket. Nice. I'm glad you saw it. So, yeah, you guys, I'm studying it obsessively. I mean, I spend all my free time studying him and this method, and I'm putting it into practice daily, devoted. And that's another thing I wanted to jump in here and say. I'm so glad it was exactly what you needed. Dude, for us, for people who are like fighting for our lives, we need this. And like I was telling my friend Mandy when I saw her the other day, she just came on. I'm like, I need something to believe in. And so here's a person who's like, I have done superhuman things, and I'm submitting myself to science to study me because I know that he's like, I'm not a superhuman. Every human can do this. We just got to know that we can do it and then do it. And it's simple. And he's like, I'm on a mission. I want everyone on the planet to know this. And he talks really straight up about how the industries and the systems don't want us to have this knowledge. They profit off of us being sick and disempowered and depressed and looping trauma and fucking autoimmune disease and all that bullshit. And so he's like, he's literally devoted his life. He's like, science, study me. World, here's these techniques and practices. Do them. And so I've made myself my own guinea pig. And I have devoted practices. And what the cool thing is that, like, you know, my morning practices, I don't even consider it discipline anymore. It's fucking devotion. I show up and I love it. It feels good. It feels good to have the devotion. You know, discipline to me, it's kind of like this thing you gotta slug it out and do it and like show up for it and like muscle through. But devoted practices are like you show up mind, body, heart, spirit, soul, and you're like, yes. It's not that it's easy, right? Like my yoga things, I'm moving into the discomfort. There's a yogi, I forget his name, Eddie. You guys type it in if you know, Eddie something. But his philosophy in yoga is seek comfort in the discomfort. Seek comfort in the discomfort. It's kind of like the Yes Theory guys. They're just like, seek discomfort. And it's cool, right? Prog Rocket. There's a moment in their documentary where Wim Hof's like, you guys want to seek discomfort? You want to seek discomfort? You want to find comfort in the discomfort? I'm going to show you that. And I mean, the first practice they do, they all think they're going to go there and like learn the breath work and all the techniques, and then they're going to do all the like polar ice plunges and climb the mountain in their shorts. Well, he's like, he has a whole different plan in store. where he's like, you guys are all about seeking discomfort. Let's go. And the first thing they did, he didn't even teach them the breath work. And he didn't teach them anything. He was just like, we're going to go jump off this cliff down into ice cold river. And they were like, what the fuck? He's crazy. And they were all tripping on him. They're like, he's a madman. Like, he's crazy. What? We came here to learn the techniques, and he's just gonna, this is reckless. But his whole thing is like, he's like, it's mind state. It's mind state. And he's like, it's not blind faith. And his whole thing is like, there's mindfulness practices and there's yoga practices that take like 20 years to start dipping in to results. And he's like, you can get results in a matter of minutes. Mind, breathing, meditation, and the cold exposure. Wow, I'm on a rampage right now. The deep plunge was gnarly. And then the next thing they did was he had them sitting, well, they were like this in the river, ice cold river, for 10 minutes. You guys gotta go watch it. I'll type it in here right now. And then this is the documentary. It's free on YouTube. Look up Yes Theory. I just typed it in there. Somebody said, how are we spelling his name? He's Dutch. He's from the Netherlands. And I just want to say this part too. Also. Okay? He is so fervent about this because he was married to his wife, who's the mother of his 4 children. And he was like, he's talked about how he loved her. She was a deep, sensitive soul. He was like, she was so alive and vibrant. And then he's like, then I watched depression and the world come in on her and kind of crush her. And she shifted into being what they called schizophrenic. And at one point, she jumped from 8 stories up and took her own life. And so he was like, I was left in the depths of despair with 4 young children. And he's like, I didn't have anything. I was, just trying to get by and trying to survive. And he was using these practices not only to help him cope, but something inside of him was like, there is a way to help people who are having disorders. And he literally just turned to nature. He turned to nature nature called him. The cold called him. The cold, he said, taught him the breath. Because when you go into the cold, like if you go take a cold shower right now, you'll notice. Everyone try this today. Go into the warm shower that you love and enjoy, and then tell yourself, okay, I'm turning it to the cold now. Let's go. See what happens. Turn it to the cold. Notice your breath. Your breath, you are designed to withstand the discomfort. And that's his whole thing, is like, we've gotten too comfortable. Human beings, this is our ability and natural power, but because we've become way too addicted to comfort, we have lost contact with our body's abilities to do these things and to be healthy. And so his whole thing is healthy, happy, and strong. Brido Tribe just wrote Nature is the Answer, and I billion infinite % agree. Nature is the answer. And what's funny, not funny, it makes sense. In my own journey, thank God, I live 5 minutes from the ocean. And that's my sanctuary. All through my treatment, I was out there, like fucking crazy deranged from chemo and shit. the moment I could get out of my bed and get out of my apartment, I mean, because there was like weeks when I was just stuck in here. It was my little healing sanctuary cave, right? But I'd get my ass down to the ocean, and I would try and walk, and I was winded because the chemo fucks your lungs up and this and that, but I would tap into the negative ions. I would feel the energy of nature and the ocean and download what she was telling me. I was feeling the vibration of the other people at the beach, because everybody at the beach is riding that high. You can't really be in a fucked up mood when you're at the beach. And that's like, it's nature. She is the embodiment of us. We are nature. There's no fucking difference. We are the earth. All the elements exist in our bodies. Earth, the blood is like water and all of our fluids. Air, the lungs, we need the oxygen for the body. And then fire, it's the warmth of our body temple, and it's also like the illuminating inner principle of who we are. We are that. We are Earth. We're just, we think we're separate, but like, dude, she's hugging us down. Gravity is a hug. She's like, come here, babies. I love you. I'm not going to let you float off into outer space. I love you. And here, let me nourish you with my foods. They're free. I'm just going to grow them, grow them, grow them. Here's my fresh water. Drink it. And I'm fucking pissed because I want to go get in the ocean so bad, and it's been raining. And I have gone in after the rain, but I also know it's riskier because, you know, all the runoff is toxic and poison. And when I have gone in, I'm like, I look around and just, it's gross. It's dirty. There's little bits of plastic and trash, and like I can see the not like natural dirt, but like the human runoff, nasty, disgusting dirt. And I just want to help. I want to help the earth. I want to help humanity. I want to help nature. I want to help creatures. I want to help us come back into balance, because it doesn't have to be a patriarchal fucking ass fuck here. We can do better. And when we go back into nature, out there, that nature, we come back into this nature. I missed all the comments. I'm going to go back. She does love us unconditionally. She does. She does. I mean, when I show up at the ocean, I'm a wreck. I'm yelling, I'm screaming, I'm crying. And she's like, bring it, baby. Bring it. Bring it. Bring it. She's like, fucking give me that shit. Give it to me. She loves me. She doesn't care what I look like when I show up. She doesn't care what my vibe is. She's like, fucking let's go. And every time I leave the beach, I come back a better person than when I showed up. She like washes up with the tides, grabs it, pulls it out. She's a neutralizer, and she's showing me I can do that too. And she's like, use the elements. It's so simple, and it's free. It's simple, and it's free, and it's right under our nose. And all we got to do is realize it. So, I'm here because I love you. Something tapped me on the shoulder and said, come in here and talk. I didn't really know which way this was going to go. And I'm just going to keep showing up here. I'm just going to keep showing up in my body every day that I wake up and I have a body. I'm here. I'm going to keep sharing. It's not narcissistic. I have to keep reminding myself it's okay to be seen. It's okay to be heard. It's okay to take up space. And let me be a clear channel for the divine to flow through at all times. Let me be a superconductor of love and light at all times. Let me be a lighthouse. Let me be an anchor for light on this planet. Let me be a servant to the spirit of love. I say I'm employed by the Spirit of love. You can call it God, Great Spirit, Goddess, the mystery source, infinite consciousness. That's who I work for. I have surrendered my whole life to embodying that. And I'm not perfect. I'm still a human being. I'm a work in progress. I got major shit in my shadow and hang-ups and all that stuff. But guess what? I'm gonna keep showing up. And I invite you to do the same. Yay, yes, every morning I wake up and I'm like, oh, I'm in my body. I kiss myself, I hug myself. I'm like, thank you, God. I got another day here. Let's go. How can I be of service? How can I be of service? How can I show up? How can I be of greatest benefit to this earth, to humanity, all creatures, the universe, the multiverse? I only work for the Spirit of love. I am a sovereign being, and those malevolent forces that want to come in and play, they don't get play with me anymore. They don't get play with me anymore. And I know that the spirit of darkness and the energy of darkness actually has been an ally for me in disguise. Darkness is different than malevolence. Darkness is different than malevolence. Darkness and chaos and all of that, it's calling us home. And we all have the ability to come back. All right, so let's go. I love you. I bow to you. I'm going to come back and read your comments. Let's see, Sacred Spirit Weaver. Crying and feeling myself reawaken after 2 years of losing yourself. Let me just say, you lost yourself on purpose. You lost yourself on purpose so that you can come back home. This is all happening for you. It all happened for you. You had to get lost so you could find that you are the way. You don't even have to find the way. You are the way. That shit happened for a reason. All right? I bow to you. I trust you and I love you. Peace.